Hi, Patrick Flayton here again, and today, as a subset of the Finding and Keeping Good Talent, today we're going to be looking at the first of 7 steps of taking control of your life. The very first step we're going to look at is the need for you to accept who you were born to be. In fact, it's not just that you need to understand it, recognize other people need you to be that person, the person that you were born to be. That who you were born to be is perfect. There's no good or bad or better or worse. A plane is no better than a train no better than a yacht or an automobile. They all have an integral role to play. And that's why I say other people need you to play your role. So let's just take some broad examples so you can see what I'm saying here. The first one is, I imagine that you've been to workshops the same as I have. Now, chances are, if this is a good workshop and they're talking about some new practical way of doing something, the model or practice was probably invented by a plane. Someone who looked at a problem and said, oh, there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way to achieve the outcome we're after. In terms of the train, well, what didn't they take care of? Seating, food, workbooks, registration, all those critical components that need to be there if the thing's even going to get off the ground. The automobile, what would their role be? They understand that you and I and others have different learning needs. What suits you may not suit me. So what they do is make sure the course is structured in such a way that each of our different learning needs are met somewhere during the day. That's why we have such variety. Role plays, group work, reflective times, etc. They've crafted something to meet the needs of the different people who are attending. And the yacht, well, let's face it, nothing goes according to plan. And the beauty of the yacht is when an emergency happens, they're going to be ready to spring into action. They're going to adopt a solution quickly and it's going to work. Now imagine for a moment that you went to a workshop where one or more of these wasn't existent. I mean, I've been to them. I've been to workshops where someone's just rehashing the same old thing over and over and over again. How to improve your Facebook. God, if the 1,000 courses are not running out all the same at the moment. But then imagine if we turned up and it was a brilliant model, but there was no seating. In fact, the venue hadn't been organised. There was no food, there was no pens, there was no workbooks, there was no chairs. What would happen if the train was absent? And then imagine if an automobile didn't have some role to play in structuring the day. We'd end up with some talking head where some person is yabby, 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 7 hours. Most of us would have fallen asleep after the first 35 minutes. And then finally, if there was no yacht, well, when it hit the fan, the rest of us would be running around going, oh my God, what will I do? What will I do? So you can see there, we needed at least 4, one from each area, to make that workshop a success. And if you're not fulfilling your role, if you're not doing what you were destined to be, the rest of us are sitting down saying, where the hell are they? I'll give you another example. A car. Now, a car was invented by planes. I mean, someone said, I need to get from A to B faster. And so they said, let me just invent all these things, put them together, and actually get a self-moving vehicle. Pretty amazing. But then, who do you think makes sure all those parts are in working order, that they're maintained correctly, that they're safe to be on the road? A train. And who do you think came up with the idea that, hey, different people, different needs. We should invent different models, different styles. One for the family person, one for the beach goer, one for the sporty 60-year-old who's going through a midlife crisis. Then we got the yacht. I mean, who else is going to be crazy enough to drive some vehicle around a racetrack at 100 to 160 miles an hour? Not me, and that's for sure. I just invented the damn thing. Now let's take one last one, just because examples can help you to see what it is and how critical the roles the different players play and how important you acting in your role is. So the last one is just a simple one. It's another one we do on a regular basis, and that is we go to a franchise restaurant. Now, think about it, franchises. What was the role of the plane? Well, someone had to develop the systems and processes in one restaurant so it could be replicated in other ones. And that's where some of the planes come into their own. Now, who's going to make sure all that stuff is documented and all the I's are dotted and all the T's are crossed? You better believe it. It's going to be a train. And who's going to create the brand or image for that restaurant? That's it, an automobile. And they'll do it with absolute authenticity. And finally, who's the person who's going to create the menus? Who's going to show that artistic flair? More than likely, a yacht. So from those three brief examples, I just can't repeat it often enough. The reason you need to take back control, the reason you need to understand which of those 4 quadrants you fall into, is the rest of us are sitting here waiting for you to turn up at the party. Now, the second step, which we'll discuss in the next video, is going to be about, yes, you are excellent. Oh, I love you dearly, and you have a magnificent gift. But do you know what? So do the other 3. And the thing you need to do is realise and accept that. And that'll be the discussion for the next video. I look forward to seeing you then. Bye-bye.